Hi, I'm Rebecca Brand, and today we're making creamy chicken puff pastry pizza. This recipe can be made in only 30 minutes from the time you walk into your kitchen. It's great for weeknights, and even better, it's made from rotisserie chicken that you already bought purchased or the leftovers of one. So whatever's left over from your rotisserie chicken night, make this puff pastry pizza with it. You might already have the ingredients for this because the recipe is so simple. The star of this recipe is Jus-Rol's pre-rolled dough. I'm using the puff pastry. I reached out to Jus-Rol to sponsor this video, and I'm so glad they did because I love this product. I've used it before. I made this viral recipe of puff pastry pepperoni pizza in an air fryer. On the back of this recipe, I'm going to show you how you can find that recipe as well. This recipe today of creamy chicken puff pastry pizza is taken from a creamy chicken pasta recipe that has over 2 million views. That was a hit. It's a recipe every family needs to know. Flashback. I made that recipe 10 years ago when I first started my channel. Oh my gosh, check out that old footage. But it's still a popular recipe on YouTube today. The ingredients for this dish are your leftover chicken. That rotisserie chicken now has turned into shredded chicken. I took it apart. And the amount of the chicken that I had for this recipe is about 2 cups. And you need 2 cups of mozzarella cheese because it's so inexpensive if you buy it in bulk. And you can freeze it in your freezer and you'll always have it for only about $2 a pound. It's the best deal in cheese. And I did a trick with the basil, just like I did in my original recipe. The basil adds an acidic flavor and a tart flavor. It's mocking Parmesan cheese in a recipe at only $2 a pound, not 20. I do a lot of recipes with heavy whipping cream. It's just the most magical ingredients. And when you buy it, it says heavy whipping cream right on the package, whether it's a carton or this is a bottle here. I bought this little tree of basil that I'm going to use. But you don't need much at all. You just need 4 tablespoons, but it's pretty leafy. It can fool you, so I'm cutting a bunch off. And the star, which is a Jus-Rol pre-made puff pastry that we're gonna roll out. First thing is to preheat our oven to 400 degrees. And in my most loved baking pan, I'm gonna put my puff pastry on it. It comes in parchment paper, and that makes it just roll out. Like in the name, Jus-Rol. Look how easy that is. I love on the side of the package, they tell you these steps. They tell you about the preheating to get a really crispy puff pastry. That was really handy to have. Because I'm being a little fancy today, I'm just gonna take my fingers and make a little lip for my puff pastry pizza. I'm lifting up the parchment paper and just taking my finger and rolling it in a little bit. Jus-Rol has a theme of just rolling, which I love. Because everybody was going to want to have a bite of that beautiful creamy sauce within this pizza. So you want to have that crispy crust all around your pizza. I'm just going to snip off the end. I don't need that. And my oven's preheated. It's time to put my Jus-Rol puff pastry in. And to get your dinner quickly on that table, do this step first, even before taking out any other ingredients. It's gonna save you time. And that timer has gone off. We're taking our puff pastry out of the oven now that it's pre-baked. I'm gonna pour all that cream over my chicken. Now remember, that's 3/4 cup. You don't want too much because you don't want it to be too runny. Now to that, I'm adding 2 cups of mozzarella cheese. Now I'm giving it a toss, like I'm tossing a salad. And now I'm adding a couple pinches of salt. I'm stirring the salt in and I'm checking that the chicken has absorbed that cream, which is what I want. I don't want the cream taking away the crunch of the puff pastry. And I even have time to do a little gardening. So I'm gonna snip, snip, snip my little basil plant here because this is gonna get incorporated into our recipe. I'm just gonna cut it up, just real little slivers. Nobody wants to get a big hunk of basil in their mouth. It's gonna ruin the flavor. You don't want just to be tasting the basil. And I did all of that while my Jus-Rol pastry was pre-baking. That's great, and you can too, I know it. 3, 2, 1. That pre-bake is done. It's nice and golden brown. Perfect color. So I'm canceling out my oven and I'm putting it on 350 for the next bake with the toppings on it. So we can see it's already puffed up. The edges are still kind of light, which is what I want, and that's why I turn my oven down. So I'm putting on the chicken, the cheese, and the cream right now. You lay it out, because everybody wants a bite of all that goodness. It doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm taking half of my basil and I'm gonna top it like that. So this basil is gonna get cooked. And the amount of basil you want is 4 tablespoons after that's chopped. And I'll show you what that looks like within the recipe. And back into the oven it goes, top shelf at 350 for 10 minutes. You can find Jus-Rol in the refrigerator section of all the pre-made baking products. They have a number of different choices. You can also get pizza dough and you can get pie crust too. It's done. Oh yeah. Oh, it's bubbling. That looks so good. And because it's served with parchment paper, look how easy that slides off. And my beloved pan looks the same. So time to cut. And you'll want to do this right at your table because everybody likes a hot, crispy pizza. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that crust. Can you hear that? Oh yeah, that's flaky and gorgeous. And let's add some more fresh basil. Just like it's snowing, it's confetti. And everybody gets to pick their piece out. And my next bite is gonna be on this extra creamy, cheesy piece. Wow, it's messy. Click the link below and check out Jus-Rol and all their great products. The website's right down there. Make sure you get it next time you hit the grocery store for your quick creamy chicken puff pastry pizza in 30 minutes. I'm Rebecca Brown. I hope you subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified of my next video. And let's keep making great recipes in life. And today, it's one of my best favorite recipes ever. See you next time. I'm going to take a little break and eat my pizza. It's after lunchtime. I put that other Jus-Rol recipe of the pepperoni air fryer pizza right over there. And there's my classic creamy chicken pasta recipe, which this is based from right there. Hope you like them.